hang on, what if we play the Smashing Pumpkins song for like 25 minutes? You know, like actually everything just becomes sort of more and more successful because people want to work with you, they want to book you and stuff. They're like, that guy seems like he's really into it still.
This episode is being supported by Tape It. If you currently use voice notes to record your ideas, you should try Tape It instead.
I think once I had that idea, and I like quite a nostalgic person, I absolutely loved that I had me as a teenager playing guitar on this track combined with things that were going on in my life now. And I was sort of looking, I think I thought about that sort of a lot while I was making 3, was like, this is my life. You know,
yeah.
Like, it sounds a bit epic, but that's where I was at, because like I was saying earlier, I was like, why am I even making an album? And so I was having these sort of thoughts of kind of like, I'm going to make an album that really sort of is about all the music I've already made, sort of maybe a sort of like culmination of all the other records I'd made, a lot of my ideas, going back to all these different techniques, just looking at all the things I'd done as sort of, and then combining that with being like, where am I at in my life now, was the sort of thinking, you know. I've even had the thoughts while I was doing it, was like, maybe I'll never make another record, another Four Tet album in this sort of style like this. It's a sort of, it feels very much like a sort of end of an era, right, in some ways to me, because some of these ideas like pretty harp melodies and drum loops and bits of noise and all this stuff, I've done so much of it. I've really explored these ideas loads and loads and loads. So I was like, I just want to do a few of them in like the most like interesting and elegant way I can, and sort of say like a final sort of moment on these ideas for now, you know.
Yeah. I love it. It's funny because when I first heard Daydream Repeat, I did think, wow, this does seem to combine elements of Kieran's life from different eras. Because, I mean, people might not realize, but say, you know, when Fridge began, I think it was lunchtime rehearsals at school and maybe a performance once a month or something at school in the sixth form.
Totally,
but doing covers of, say, Smashing Pumpkins and Ramones,
completely,
maybe.
Yeah.
And then that led to this experimental post-rock band.
Well, because we'd be doing those covers and things, but then so much was happening at the time. We'd go and see Quick Space Supersport or Tortoise or something like this, and we'd come back and be like, hang on, what if we play the Smashing Pumpkins song for like 25 minutes? You know, like, and what if half of it's just sort of noise and all these things, you know, like, I mean, the cassette, like it's so ramshackle, but I found these moments of sound within it where I was like, this is actually everything I'm still trying to do is encapsulated in this. Yeah. In this little sound. Like, I heard that sort of guitar noise and I was like, why would I even bother trying to make new guitar noise? I nailed it then.
Yeah. If you, like so many of our guests, use voice notes to capture your ideas, you will love Tape It. It's the iPhone recording app designed specifically for musicians and songwriters. With Tape It, you can record straight from your lock screen, set markers, add notes, and even include photos of settings. Plus, there's Cloud Sync, you can import your old voice notes, and to stay on top of it all, Tape It has great labeling features like automatic instrument detection. And all of the above is free. If you currently use voice notes, switching to Tape It is a no-brainer. And there's more. If you upgrade to Tape It Pro, it uses 2 microphones on your iPhone along with gentler dynamic compression to give a much more natural sound than any of the usual apps. And we have a huge offer for you. 50% off Tape It Pro if you upgrade now. Just go to the app and use the promo code TAPENOTES or click the link in the description below.
I feel quite liberated these days that I've got things to a point where a lot of the records I do have pretty much no connection sometimes with what's going on with some of the performances I'm doing, the live music and the DJing and all those things. So don't really worry anymore about how those things connect particularly. I sort of look at things sort of project to project, and you know, the album is a sort of isolated thing. I think that I'm very lucky, and the audience I've got can understand that I'm going to put out an album of one sort of music, and then I'm going to go and DJ somewhere and play something completely different, and then a few weeks later I'm going to collaborate with like William Tyler or something on an acoustic guitar record, and I seem to be fortunate enough to be able to do that without people being totally and utterly confused all the time. So I just sort of do my thing and let people sort of try and navigate it themselves. And I don't feel a huge rush to explain everything particularly, I quite like that people have their own space and time with the music, work out what it means to them, what they think about it, and how they want to experience it, and sort of do their thing with it without me sort of like being in everybody's faces all the time, being like, this is an album about this, and this is a DJ set about this. Like, I just sort of do my thing, you know, and let people take it in.
Yeah. I mean, do you think that you actually had to work towards that? I mean, I think maybe you did, because that whole idea of freedom and control is something that you wrestled with, I guess, from the very beginning in a way, even from when you were first starting out in Fridge. Yeah,
like a long time ago, I could sort of see it as a goal of being like, I want to get in a position where if I announce a show somewhere or I'm going to do something, I can just be like, I'm going to come and do something. And there's no expectation about maybe quite what it's going to be. I don't even necessarily have to tell people, but they're going to be like, all right, well, this is maybe going to be interesting. Kieran's doing it. He's going to be thoughtful about it. I wanted to be in that sort of space, like with what I'm doing, where I can, just not have that pressure that things have to be a sort of certain way, and can be really flexible, so that I can just pursue like ideas and interests I have without worrying about it. And it means that week to week, I get to do these unbelievably crazy things that are totally different. Like a few weeks ago, I played this festival, EDC in America, which is like the biggest sort of EDM American dance music event. And it's so far removed from loads of other things I've ever been involved. Not something I ever imagined I'd get to play, I suppose, you know. And it was just an incredible experience. Like, I don't know that I need to, you know, I did it once. I don't know that I need to do it loads of times or anything like that. But to be able to do that, and then also to be able to be like, I'm going to play at Green Man Festival this year, like, and I'm going to follow like a folk band or something. And then to be like, I'm also going to work on, you know, a concert that has this big lighting installation or whatever, and the music's much more ambient. And I just, to get to that point, I'm so happy that I'm there, and I can just keep things changing. There's no sort of repetition for me. I can just make the music I want to make. I think being happy, something I think about a lot is to have been making music this long, be in the sort of position I am, and to find a way to actually enjoy it, like, is I think a more complicated thing than you might initially assume or people would understand. You very easily get yourself into all sorts of trappings of like, oh my God, I'm touring way too much, and I'm exhausted, or I'm not getting time to do these things. I'm messing up my relationships with friends and family. So I'm doing all this. I'm like, you know, working with a huge PR team, and now I've got deep anxiety because we're getting trolled on Instagram or whatever, and all this sort of thing. Like, I've said something, you know, stupid. So like, all these, get yourself wrapped up in all sorts of problems, and your life can just become like tangled up in all sorts of anxiety and all sorts of problems. And to be doing music a long time and be able to just really truly enjoy it and get happiness from it, like, you have to be pretty strong and sort of militant about like, this is what I will do. I mean, this is, you were in here being like, what, this is the only interview you're doing, like, what's going on and everything. And I'm like, it's not really that important that I do loads of interviews. It's important that I do a couple of really thorough things here and there that sort of document like what I'm about. Like, I like the idea of the story being existing for people who want to follow, but like, I don't really care about promoting my record in any sort of traditional sense at this point. Like, I do care about it, but it's more important. I've weighed it up, and it's just like more important I'd actually make music or see people or something. Like, it's just find this balance in everything, you know, and like, and the more I look after me being, just keeping things sane and happy and everything, actually everything just becomes sort of more and more successful, because people want to work with you, they want to book you and stuff. They're like, that guy seems like he's really into it still, and he's really enjoying it, he's authentic and about it and everything. Because I'm trying so hard to, like, so cautious to never get bogged down in any nonsense.